This is Kreskin, and I'm now reflecting on a remarkable movie, Jimmy Neutron's Boy Genius. The movie is brilliantly produced. What is very remarkable is how real and focusing the key characters are in the movie. Their faces are very easily seen. They are not highly distorted. It's impressive how it is possible now to make a cartoon movie using electronics that were not available maybe 15 or 20 years ago. The characters are very visible. What's important about the movie is that it was the first appearance of Hugh Neutron, who became an internet icon online and eventually became a playable character in the Nickelodeon Brawl. After Hugh came into the game, Mark DiCarlo, whose voice is Hugh, said on Twitter that he wanted me in the game as well. That would have been exciting. The movie is very busy and noisy, with some dramatic background music at times. The parents in the story of the key character, Jimmy Neutron, don't seem to understand the psychology of the behavior and what have you. You know, it's interesting how some of the thoughts in the movie, perhaps in the personalities of the individuals that we may know, makes a great shadow or reflection on them. There's a story of a kind of apparent fight for justice in the movement through the movie, sometimes instantaneous, that people can change size and form in a matter of seconds. But we just seem to know who they are by the voices we hear emanating, or sometimes what was said that was about to take place. They can be shooting through the sky, shooting through distances, and at the same time apparently being themselves. There's a dramatic scene where they hover over an amusement park and finally descend into it, and that is as wild and crazy and idiotic as any freewheeling cartoon could be, because everything could be happening. They could be going through walls, changing form, screeching, and yes, even ending up with UFOs, which seems to capture one of the characters, Jimmy, in the story. Apparently, in this vast distance of mayhem, they lose their parents, and one of them says, "I want my mommy, too." They seem to pass through walls to go from one scenario to another. There is this strange interactive travel through space. One wonders how they can control whatever they are doing, because in the conglomeration going on around them, and it is a conglomeration, there is an indirect reference to God controlling it sometimes, or something, whatever it is. Mom and Dad had advised them as they were going to take off to listen to what was going on, but not to talk to strangers. That's a humorous touch. A very remarkable moment in this fast-moving movie, at times extraordinarily confusing story, is the apparent return to where they started, and how, lo and behold, they retrieve their parents despite the wild existence that the rumbling is going on that they're going through. Mom and Dad are together again with them. And in a sense, it telegraphs an excellent philosophy in the movie, that no matter how confusing, dramatic, unexpected, and revolutionary are the experiences, there's always the possibility and the meaningful return to those who mean so much to them as participants. I was very much impressed with the almost supernatural force that possessed them, and they're finding them climbing back into their family experience. Talk about triumph over congestion. It really happened in this story, and it was made to happen. Again, one cannot help but become reminded of the clarity of these cartoon characters and their looking and eye expressions, and how much cartoons have advanced. And boy, I'll tell you something, they really have advanced since we saw them years ago as kids. Talk about advance of an art and technology. The dramatic, chaotic visit to a carnival and the leaving it and returning to more of a socially integrated lifestyle, very significantly and well captured in the story.